now she's a member of Veterans for Peace, Code Pink, Women for Peace and the Gaza Freedom Flotilla, and she's the author of Dissent, Voices of Conscience. Are you there, Anne? Very early in the morning, I think it's 4 a.m, so could you welcome Anne, please?
Well, thank you very, very much. Yes, it's 4 a.m. I'm here in Washington, D.C., although I live in Hawaii, and I have on my T-shirt, Hawaiian, we are the defenders of Palestine, and that a land acknowledgement, particularly from the sovereign nation that I live in right now as a settler colonialist in Hawaii. If I may share my screen, and I will get going on some slides here. Let's see. Okay, there's that one. Now we'll go to the start. Okay. Well, we're thank you all so much for your title of the conference, Sleepwalking into War. And my goodness, that's what we're doing right now, as we see in the Middle East. And thanks to Lisa for her bringing us up to date with the history of nuclear weapons used in the Pacific and their horrific after effects, and what we see in the Middle East and the potential for nuclear exchange or nuclear use in that region. I've titled mine Regional Peace Initiatives in Asia and the Pacific, and not from the United States, because the United States certainly is not looking for peace anywhere, it seems. As I mentioned, I am in Hawaii, and that's the headquarters of the Indo-Pacific Command that stretches all the way from the west coast of the United States all the way across through to India. The military presence in the United States, as you all well know, in Australia is increasing. And Lisa, living on the island of Guam and in the Micronesian area, has seen a tremendous increase in the last 3 or 4 years, and it's only going to get worse. In just the U.S. component of what's happening in the militarization of Asia and the Pacific, the U.S. has almost 400,000 U.S. military and civilian personnel in the region. We have 200 ships, 1,000 aircraft. We have tons of Marines, and the newest Marine base in the U.S. Marine base in the world is on the island of Guam. After 50 years of not getting a new base, they finally did, and it is on Guam. The issue of what is happening and the potential in the next few years. United States Admiral has said the U.S. Navy will be ready to have a fight with China in 3 years. And they are using the fact that the chairman of the PRC has said they may have to be ready because the U.S. is ready. So everybody's forecasting, and particularly the United States is forecasting some sort of confrontation with China, which is horrible. I mean, economic competition is fine, but with the confrontation of the military that the U.S. has been pushing really since the Obama administration is horrible. The current commander of the Indo-Pacific Command says, I want to turn the Taiwan Straits into an unmanned hellscape with a number of classified capabilities. So a lot of this is all about the U.S. pushing China on the issue of Taiwan. The United States has recognized PRC as China for over 40 years, and yet now pushing the whole issue of independent Taiwan. The alliances, which one would say, oh, the alliances are for peace, but they're not really for peace. The latest alliance is actually Russia and North Korea that happened in June of this year. But as you all well know, the AUKUS alliance with nuclear submarines that'll be coming into Australia. You have the alliances now, South Korea, Japan, the Philippines, Thailand, Australia, New Zealand, in mutual defense treaties. $8 billion the United States has given to Taiwan for weaponry. And just the latest is $360 million sale of small armed drones. You look, this is Lisa's land out in the Northern Marianas, Guam, Palau, Federated States of Micronesia, where the United States is putting huge amounts of money into these islands to build up the military capabilities of the United States. In Guam alone, there's 71 military construction projects, $4 billion with $11 billion in the next 5 years. Hawaii, actually, this figure of 1.5 billion is low. They're going to be building or reconstructing a huge docking system and ship repair facilities in Pearl Harbor. Micronesia, Federated States of Micronesia, 3 military projects, $500 million. Northern Marianas, 7 military construction projects. Wake Island, $180 million there. Palau, airports and a port. And then, of course, you have, as Lisa had mentioned, the Marshall Islands that tragically had such huge numbers, 67 nuclear tests on it. It also is the back end, or actually the front end of the U.S. Missile range that starts in Vandenberg Air Base in California and ends in Kwajalein, a missile area where the U.S. continues to send weapons, not nuclear, but missiles across the Pacific, landing in the Marshall Islands. And then the Philippines with 9 new bases that the United States can use. And just a couple of the things that show that the U.S. is not interested in peace, in my opinion, in the Western Pacific. And I say that with 29 years of experience in the U.S. Army and 16 years as a U.S. diplomat. Right now, the United States is not on a peace footing anywhere in the world. And you have the pictures of the U.S. and Philippine warships in the South China Seas. We have the U.S. in military operations, exercises they call, but they're war maneuvers, they're war practice all over the Pacific. And it's not just them. I mean, let's just throw in that when the U.S. does something, then there is a counter to it. And the Russian Navy had a practice in June where they had 40 ships, they had 20 aircraft and helicopters. So they are right in the middle of it. And as you all well know, the Chinese Navy is in the South China Sea with the support for their military installations on a number of islands in the South China Sea. And then their confrontation with the United States, anytime the U.S. sends diplomat or a senior military officer to Taiwan, the PRC responds by sending anywhere up to 50 or more aircraft heading straight toward Taiwan across the Straits of Taiwan, which only takes like 3 minutes from their air bases on the mainland of China. So we are awash with confrontation. And the PRC fired its first ICBM missile into the Pacific, the first one they've done in 44 years. So they are ramping up their response to U.S. U.S. things that are going on. And the United States sent nuclear submarines into South Korea. And of course, North Korea says we've got to respond some way to this. I'll just mention there are, of course, many types of materials that we have to find out where military bases are around the world. But a new one that has just come out through World Beyond War is an interactive one. So we'll have this available for you so that you can put this on your list of resources. I'll finish by saying NATO is coming into the Pacific, as you all well know. The Rim of the Pacific military war maneuvers that were held this summer, June through August in the waters off Hawaii, 29 countries, 25,000 military personnel, 40 ships, 3 submarines, 150 aircraft. And of those countries, nine of the countries that participated in RIMPAC are NATO members, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. So we had Canada, Denmark, France, Germany, Belgium, the Netherlands, the UK, the US, and Italy, and as full-fledged NATO members that were a part of this military war maneuvers in the Pacific. And then, of course, the NATO partners, which are one other classification of membership, partners, not actual members, but Australia, Japan, New Zealand, South Korea, Colombia, and Israel. So we have lots of initiatives in the Pacific, but unfortunately, they're not coming from the United States. And I apologize for that, for the militarization and the potential for war in our part of the world, all the way from the west coast of the United States, all the way over to India from the United States. So I'll stop there and look forward to listening to the other presentations and being a part of what we have in your excellent symposium and conference for today. Thank you.